What's up, everybody? Brothers, sisters, psychonauts, and seekers of truth. It is Ananka, and welcome to my bazaar. Today, I have a 2C-T-2 trip report for you. The title of this trip report is IV Phenethylamine and Spiritual Experience, and was submitted to Erowid in 2003 by the user Anonymous K. With all that being said, let our story begin. I have ingested every psychoactive chemical known to man, and probably a few that haven't. Been to several rehabs, done some jail time, and all for the pursuit of that elusive spiritual experience that I, somehow, felt would rocket me into that dimension or place or room that I have visited twice in my life. Once, under 15 to 20 drops of liquid LSD, which I ended up being hospitalized for, and then again with the following account of spiritual consciousness. Needless to say, I have extensive psychedelic experience. I never thought I would be posting a story here, but felt this one time wouldn't hurt. With that said, please excuse the ADD style of writing here. And, of course, I neither confirm nor deny that these events occurred. Recently, with the novelty of research chemicals, I have had the pleasure of a few rather interesting journeys, but none yet can compare with the onset and sheer intensity of this root and specific chemical, 2C-T-2, for a visual experience in my frame of reference. I spent several months in Amsterdam trying every mushroom and cactus in the smart shops on a relapse. And when I returned to the States, found it difficult to find similar psychoactives that I felt were safe. I can only use ganja or psychedelics because of a baffling and very public alcohol and cocaine addiction. So, in search of that elusive spiritual experience, and after much research and reading DMT, the spirit molecule, I decided to get back to my search for the elusive experience. I purchased some 5-MeO-DMT, 2C-T7, and 2C-T2, because I suspected that these chemicals would be banned soon. My experience with the smoked DMT was simply sheer, unadulterated terror, and was too short to make any revelations that I could get my arms around, so to speak. 2C-T7 was amazing visually, but lasted too long, and despite the analog connection, was not like mescaline. The 2C-T2 orally was similar to mescaline visually, and, for me, the spiritual component was perceived, and the fact that the duration was short was a bonus. I enjoyed the substance extensively, every day, via insufflation and oral routes while enjoying the pool this summer behind my house, playing guitar, and walking in the woods. I saved one dose for a special day or occasion because I knew it was time to get sober again, and flushed the rest of my chemicals because I suspected something bad might happen. I purchased too much, and it was time. To put this story somewhat in a context of why I felt I wanted to research these substances, is because I have had up to 12 years of sobriety at a stretch, and whenever I relapse, bad things eventually will happen. Over the last 7 years, I have been struggling with sobriety, usually opting for the marijuana maintenance program instead of daily AA meetings, for sanity in this current chaotic world. But eventually would always go back to alcohol and would always get in trouble with the law. I was still hoping for a spiritual experience like Bill Wilson, co-founder of AA, had on the belladonna treatment with the white light phenomena. Maybe that could set me back on the path of recovery, because both of my last 2 long-term sobriety periods were precluded by a heavy mushroom or LSD dosing. And after reading about the recovery moment, I stumbled on to the fact that the co-founder of AA also had researched LSD in the 50s and felt it had much promise for alcoholics to reach that consciousness necessary for recovery from alcohol or drug dependence. Hence the fascination with psychedelics. Knowing that this would be my final attempt with the substance, 2C-T-2, I decided to use the same protocol that was used in the book, DMT, the Spirit Molecule, IV. I put the crystals in a spoon with some water, heat it with a match, watch it melt into the water, draw it up into a syringe, smack a vein, and bam. Within 5 seconds, it is completely overwhelming. Fractal and geometric visions of every imaginable texture, pattern, and width spill out in front of my eyes. Because of the smoked DMT experience, I decide not to freak out and realize I will get to the other side of this intact, but was in fight or flight mode with my heart racing and worrying if my heart and head would make these next few seconds alive. Who could I call? What would happen if I screamed for help? Relax. Let it happen. I go to sink and hurl, again and again. Nothing is coming out of me. What the fuck am I doing? Why did I do this? I remember what it was like to be sober, to have friends, to be loved. Before the death of all those people who have passed from this place, before the problems, before the divorce, before the jobs, before the money, before school and people and relationships and all those brilliant moments of clarity and bliss and pain and tears and joy and laughter and love. Why was I here in the middle of this existence at this time in history, with all the hate and misunderstandings and senseless violence and awesome discoveries that could take us back to where we started? That place, that room. I've been here before. When? Where? Who was I? Who am I now? And then this incredible moment occurred. It felt like warm paint had been poured all over my body as I sat in the lotus position, and I was immune to everything. All hope and fear, and for one fleeting moment I reveled as if I was weightless, in midair, covered and surrounded by this tactile sympathy that had saved me from this place in the future or past, but certainly not this present moment. This person was calling me, telling me from some existence yet to be lived that I would visit this moment again, and all the events that transpired were there to get me here, so that I would never have to search again, because it was here all along, waiting for me. That elusive spiritual experience was something I did not have to look for. It had been waiting to find me. I currently have been clean and sober for 8 months, and neither wish to relive or close the door on this and all those other experiences. Finally, I get it. and realized that I did, in fact, break on through to the other side. All right, everybody. That is the end of our story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tell us about your 2C-T-7 experiences down in the comments. I'll see you in the next one, fam. Deuces.